It's not gonna work. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Okay, I think it worked. Melanie, I think it worked. What did you do? You can turn the PlayStation back on. You're totally fine. It can't be the PlayStation that's like messing with things. I honestly think it's Streamlabs. What up, AJ? Go play Fallout, lady. You're totally fine. You're totally fine. Appreciate you working so hard to get this fixed for us, man. Hopefully it works. I have tried messing with everything that I could on Streamlabs, and hopefully it decides to cooperate. I tried connecting LAN on the computer, and it didn't work. iMacs are dumb. Don't buy an iMac. Looks good. What's up? What up? What up, dude? What up, Byron? Looks smooth. People are saying it looks smooth, so whatever we did something. It's working. Awesome. Well, other than you being in the picture, I see how it is. Yo, what up, Fox? We here. Hey, what's going on? Not much. Happy Saturday. It's smooth. All right, I played with some of the settings in Streamlabs. So hopefully everything is like Gucci with it and it's not freaking out anymore because it just threw like the biggest temper tantrum I have ever seen. It was dumb. No CPU isn't network. It's Streamlabs. Oh, CPU isn't network. It is Streamlabs. It's Streamlabs. I don't know why it does this. It definitely can be PlayStation that's stealing your bandwidth. She's playing. She's not playing online though, so I don't think it's really messing with it too much. What up, dude? Hello from Wisconsin. What's poppin'? What's going on, Travis? What boost gauge do I recommend? AEM. AEM all the way. That is always my recommendation. You're gonna have to buy a secondary sensor though, because the AEM sensor always like poops out on people. GPU. I don't even know how to like pick GPU. Fox, I tried listening to your guys' recommendations and setting the Streamlabs up with GPU. It's not even an option. It's like VT Apple hard encoder, VT soft encoder, and then like a software encoder or something like that. It was dumb. It was dumb. Don't know why. I have no idea which one of those is actually a GPU. I can play with a car, but I have absolutely no knowledge when it comes to computers. So far it looks good on my phone. That is good to hear. That is good to hear. You check out the Vivo, like Vivo Music. You're gonna have to give me a refresher on that one. What up? What up? Evening, dogs. What's going on, dude? Ooh, what up, dude? What up, Christian? What's a good WRX wing? What do you mean by that? I don't quite know what you mean by that one. I think it's the smoothest since you started using Streamlabs. Well, that is good because I changed every single setting in here, and I don't necessarily think it's so much the internet versus it like being settings in Streamlabs. So hopefully this kind of like fixes most of it, and it kind of like settles out. I ended up changing like frame rate, bit rate, whole bunch of other stuff to try to get it to work. So hopefully this is the solid setup for us. Yeah, we got you. I feel it. We got you. Hopefully it just like sticks with it and it actually like works. Budget is only enough for Pro Sport gauge. Thoughts? There's nothing wrong with Pro Sport. I've used Pro Sport gauges before. They're just not my go-to gauges. AEM are typically my go-to gauge over Pro Sport, but Pro Sport is also a solid option if that is the only one within your budget. So what's the secret? Let us know. What is the secret to what? What do you want to know the secret of? The secret to getting like Streamlabs to work? Not really a secret. What up, Max? What's a good wing to get? I mean, depends on your budget. APR is pretty much always my go-to for wings. OEM is always a good option. If you're on a budget, OLM isn't a bad option either. All kind of depends on what your budget really is. Hello! What's going on, Bortforts? Are you running Streamlabs now? I am running Streamlabs now. We are back on Streamlabs. We are going to give it a little bit to make sure that everything is like solid. What does this 25 mean? There's like a little box down here that says 25. So far we have no like notifications, which is a good thing. Can I view like the analytics of it? Perfect. Under half a percent for dropped frames, so that's solid. Working great. Good to hear. Save all of those settings for next time. I have all of these settings like hard saved in here, so hopefully these are like the good settings to run now. Tanner, my man, when you have time, can you look at your Instagram messages? Also, iMac is different than Windows, so yeah, Mac is great once you get it crispy on those settings. I'm a tech guy, is my job. Gotcha. Yeah, whenever it comes to computers, I have absolutely no idea about like anything tech-wise when it comes to computers. I heavily rely on Melanie because she knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. But yes, I will try to swing through some Instagram DMs tonight, hopefully get back to some more of them. Are we doing some car reviews tonight? Yes, we will take a look at some car reviews that you guys sent in. I got a couple fun things planned. For tonight. Hey, you're back. I am back. It was like a 10-minute like weird delay that I had to like correct. Thoughts on the new Hummer EV coming out? We touched on it a little bit ago in a couple other live streams. Looks like a crazy car. Looks like it has like a lot of power and like instant power too with it being an EV. I'm not a huge person on EVs. I don't think I'd ever buy an EV car, but they're definitely cool. I would definitely like snag one if one like ever became within budget, or I could like find one that was somewhat reasonable in price. It would be a fun car to play with. But the new Hummer one looks insane. Thing looks nuts. What real wheels would you buy on a budget? Please no RPF ones. NTO3s then, because whenever it comes to balling on a budget and you're trying to buy some like real wheels, Anki is pretty much going to be your go-to. You can get some 57 DRs secondhand for around like $1,100 or so, which is a pretty solid deal. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot of real wheels you can get at least brand new. You can pick up a decent amount of secondhand ones for a decent price, but when it comes to buying them brand new, there's not a whole lot outside of Anki, unfortunately. Well, then start the Ding Dang Subscribers Garage. We'll get into it in a little bit, my man. We're in no rush. 25 is viewers. It is increasing. We are at 30 now. Christian, chill. He will do it. We're going to do some tonight. We'll take a look at some cars tonight. Don't even worry about it, my man. Oh, I told you in yesterday's live stream to check out the Subaru. Oh, that's right, Subaru Vivio. Let's take a look at that one because we can totally do that now. Let me get the window capture set up. Why? God, Streamlabs is like really breaking my balls sometimes, and I don't understand. It's like I save all these settings in here, and then it just doesn't always cooperate. So we'll remove the screen capture, and then we'll add it back in, since that's what it wants to do right now. Window capture. Add source, window capture, that's totally fine. Select an option. Ooh, where's my Safari? There it is. Boop, Safari. Let me adjust that down a little bit because that got like way too big, way too quick. The Subaru Vivio, the one that you were talking about yesterday, not video. We want images. This thing looks like a Geo Metro. That straight up looks like a Geo Metro. Look at the little back of it though. Okay, I mean I kind of like it. Is it a kit car? Not a kit car, a K car? It looks tiny. That's a tiny looking little dude. Oh my god, they have an STI version. Done. I'm sold on it. I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. I'd love one. I'll take a Subaru Vivio. You talked me into it, my man. I believe RXD is the specific trim. It's RX something. Is it this one that you're talking about? Because I would definitely snag that one. What's up, man? How do you feel about Darton sleeves? I was going to use Darton sleeves on the STI before we decided to go with a closed deck setup. So, I mean, I looked into Darton sleeves. Everything looked pretty solid on Darton. If you are contemplating doing a sleeved route, I would suggest going Darton. They are pretty known for what they do whenever it comes to sleeves. Bro, I gotta get tested for the pigeon, man. Can't smell or taste anything. That, I am truly sorry, my friend. I had to get that test. It is definitely not fun. They shove that Q-tip, like, where's the camera? It's like, ugh. It's not enjoyable at all. It sucks. Hopefully you don't got it, though. Hopefully it's, like, pigeon-free. Would you ever wide-body fender flare the STI or the 86? The BRZ will get a wide body at some point in the future. I don't know when. The STI, on the other hand, will get fender flares at some point, just so we can run a lot meatier of a tire on it. For the flares, I think it'll probably be like the ML24 setup or something of the sorts for the flares. But yes, at some point we will. We will do both of the cars. I didn't rotate my tires on time. The rears have more tread, and the fronts are at the wear bars. Before I replace them, would it make more sense to have the good tires on front? Rain and snow coming up. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. They're a little bit more front-wheel drive bias than they are rear-wheel drive bias. So if you want to put the better traction tires in the front, it might help out a little bit, but I don't see it helping a ton. I mean, if you really want to try to ride those tires out as much as you can, just be safe doing so, especially with snow and rain coming up. You don't want to be sliding all over the place and slipping all over the streets. No one wants that. Just be safe out there. I hope not. Hashtag save the stock bodies. Well, it's too late for that. Well, it's not too late for it, but I already planned on doing it. That's always a fun noise. Where? Oh, okay, window capture. I need to put... There we go. There we go. Now everything's working. It's all falling into place. Everything is falling into place. Let's go. Christian, you're so excited, my man. I love it. I just jumped into this stream since it came up on my recommended. I'm thinking of getting a WRX. Thoughts? Hey, well, appreciate you swinging by the stream, my dude. If you are looking at getting a WRX, you have a lot of options out there. First of all, you kind of need to pretty much depict what your budget is and then kind of find one within your budget. If you're looking at like sub $10,000, you're probably going to be looking at like a GD WRX. If you're in like the 10 to 20,000, you could probably get a GR STI or WRX. And then if you're like 20,000 plus, you could be getting pretty much anything you want out there. But I would recommend snagging one that's as stock as possible. A clean title, lowest mileage you can find if you are looking for a newer one. If you are looking for an older one, try to stay under like 100 to 120,000 miles. And you should be... Hey, you're totally good to play Fallout.
Okay, good, because I already started it.
Yeah, so you're totally fine to play Fallout. So, yeah, if you are looking for one, I have a whole video on kind of what to look out for. If you do have any questions, my dude, just feel free to shoot me a message, drop a comment in one of the videos, and I will definitely keep an eye out for it. I get back to all YouTube comments, so if you do find one, you want me to take a look at it, feel free to send over the link, and I will definitely take a peek at it for you. Build my... Oh, geez. Chat box just jumped. Build my WRX2 fully bolted, plus flex, or keep it stage 1 and save the cash. I mean, if you want my opinion, go full send with it and fully bolt on, flex fuel, big turbo, all that stuff. See, here's my thing is I'm not huge on saving cash. Like, yes, I keep like a reserve in my savings account, but whenever it comes to like saving a surplus of money, I can't really justify it. I mean, I never know like at what point my life may or may not end. And what's the point? I can't take all my money with me. So why not enjoy it while you have it? So if you want to go build your WRX, build it, my dude. Build it. If you want to save the money, though, and you definitely have some other plans coming up, just make sure you do keep some in your reserves. Or if you just want to save some money, then just go stage 1, enjoy the car for a little while. Just swapped from Firehawk Indy 500s to Bridgestone Potenza all seasons. I like Bridgestone Potenzas. Those are my summer tires. Today, and the ride with smoothness is like night and day. I don't know why I didn't trash the Firehawk sooner. I've never been a huge fan of Firehawk tires. I've also never been a huge fan of like the Federal 595s either. A lot of people out there do like the Federals and the Firehawks. Personally, whenever it comes to all seasons, I prefer the Continental Extremes. Whenever it comes to summer tires, I pretty much stick with my Bridgestone Potenza RE760 Sports. They've been some pretty solid tires since I've had them. But glad you like the new Bridgestones, my dude. With top mount intercooler, would you recommend... which top mount intercooler would I recommend on a 2011 WRX? Depends on your budget. If you don't mind spending a little extra, Process West is a very good way to go. If not, Grimspeed makes a really good top mount intercooler too. You have a lot of options out on the market though. Grimspeed and Process West, ETS, those are pretty much going to be my 3 like go-tos like off the top of my head for top mounts. No, they don't make top mounts. Those would be my 3 go-tos. How far can you roll the fenders while still retaining the stock fender look? Kind of like how your BRZ is. So my BRZ's fenders are pulled a little bit, but you can go whenever it comes to rolling fenders. You're not pulling the fender out. Whenever it comes to rolling, you're just rolling the little lip on the inside of the fender up, so that way like the two pieces of metal like kind of can join like that. When you start pulling it, that's when the fender starts to come out a little bit. But you could go, I mean, I've seen people go like 10 mil out. It's a really aggressive pull, and it looks a little funky because it kind of like brings it up. Mine are pulled maybe about 3 millimeters, so nothing crazy. But when it comes to rolling or pulling or like reshaping fenders, trying to keep the paint intact is always the hardest part. So if you are planning on doing it, just make sure that you heat up the paint on the fender so that way it's not like completely demolishing itself and cracking and chipping everywhere. It's a Kai car, and that's what that one was. It's the Rally Edition. I like it. What do I think about the K trucks like the Honda Acade and the Suzuki Carry? I don't know what those are. Suzuki Carry. Oh, when I was deployed, we had these. Oh, what did we call these? I forgot what we called them. But we had these. When I was deployed, we had these things everywhere in Afghanistan. This is what, like, everyone drove over there. I don't know why, but, I mean, I've driven a couple of them. They're fun. Especially the manual ones. But actually, I'm pretty sure they were all manual when I was over there. But these are what we had when I was deployed in Afghanistan. I didn't know that's what this was. I remember seeing, like, they were Suzukis. What did we call them? I don't actually remember what we called them. But I have driven these before, and they're actually pretty fun to drive. How good are 255 internals? I mean, you could probably make like 350 wheel horsepower. Torque is definitely going to vary a little bit, but you could reliably make like 350-ish with the proper like reliability and supporting mods. Anything past that gets into the danger zone a little bit. That is definitely going to depend on like motor health. I would do a compression and a leak down test on that motor if you are planning on modifying it, especially based on whatever mileage it might be on, just so that way you're not modifying it, it explodes, it blows up at some point. No one wants that. Cameron, hello, my friend. Everyone say hello to Cameron. Hello, Cameron. Oh, Cameron Melanie says hello too. The Subaru Vivo is also supercharged and an inline. Interesting. Interesting. I'd love a Subaru 360 if I could ever get like a 360. If you guys haven't ever seen a 360, they are like gnarly little... Oh, they're not gnarly. They're cool though. If I could spell Subaru, Jesus. Have you guys seen these Subaru 360s? There's one for sale downtown where I live. Oh, this one's only 8,900 bucks. Mel, can we get a Subaru 360? It's like a Volkswagen Beetle, but Subaru made a version of it. I'm gonna take your silence as a yes. They're cool cars. I'd love to have one. They're by no means fast, but it'd definitely be cool to have a little Subaru 360 to drive around as a little daily. I just don't think... Okay, you guys talking about tires, I believe. What did you decide what turbo you're getting for the H6? I did. What was it? A 75? I think it was a 7530. I think this is a turbo. That's not what I wanted. We are getting... It's a big precision turbo. I have it written down. It's a 70 series. What was it? Was it 76, 75, 71, 70? I think it was a 76, 75. It was a big turbo. I remember that much. It was a big turbo. It was a big turbo from Precision. It's a 70 series. I have it written down on my notepad out there. But it should be good. No, I don't want to be the first to know. The Precision turbo I'm looking at, it's a ball bearing. I believe it's a 7135. Is it a 7135? Is that an option? 7135? Maybe not. Maybe not. Pretty sure this is like a Precision 7135. It's a turbo rated to like 1200 wheel horsepower. On the first tune that we're going to be doing on the STI, we're probably going to be shooting for around 600 as the... Actually, I don't even know how much horsepower we're going to make. It'll be the break-in tune. It's going to be for reliability purposes. At some point, we will fully utilize the turbo, but it is going to be a Precision like 7135 or something of the sort. It's a big turbo. I will be ordering that at some point in the future. Last night I got the fuel pressure regulator ordered. Today I sold my current injectors, the ID 1300s, because you guys will see in the actually you want to. I didn't even mention it in the video that goes live tomorrow. I bought the wrong injectors for the STI. I bought '07 plus STI injectors, thinking that those are what the lower TGV housings are spec'd at. I was totally wrong, so it's a $200 mistake on my end. I sold the ID 1300s that I had today for a little over $800, and then I talked with Brian today, and we got the new correct size injector ordered. They're still ID 1300s, but instead of them being 48 millimeters long, they're 38 millimeters long. And they utilize a 14 millimeter lower O-ring. They're pretty much just Bosch injectors rebranded by ID. So, you know, that's exciting. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Pretty awesome that your chick is a gamer. She doesn't play too often. I think she just got done doing some homework earlier, and she just kind of wants to veg out and chill. So she mainly plays Fallout and whatnot. Just kind of hangs out. Mainly while I'm like sitting in here playing like Call of Duty or something. I have no idea. What are your thoughts about the 1998 Subaru Impreza STI 22B? The 22B is a really cool car. If I could ever get a 22B for a reasonable price, I'd love to snag one. But the 22B is really it's more of a collector's car at this point. People are selling it for like $200,000. Actually, what was the price of the last one sold? They sold for like a stupid amount. Stupid amount. But if I could ever get one, I'd love one. But they're just like way too expensive. $115,000. It's a beautiful car, but I'm never going to spend $115,000 on one. I could build one. If someone gave me $115,000 and said you can either have this 22B STI or you can build your own GC8, I'm going to build my own GC8. I think that would be obviously it would be a lot more fun. We could definitely do like our own wide body similar to this. But it's like I modify my cars. I don't buy cars for collector reasons. But, I mean, the 22B is an awesome car. I would just... Oh, this one's $392 of $400. It's just, I would never buy one for what they're used for. I'd buy one and modify it. And then everyone get, like, disgusted with me and tell me I modified a 22B STI and the whole internet would hate me. Agreed, live life how you want. That's what I'm saying. Being a fellow huge gamer, what Fallout is Melanie playing? Mel, what Fallout game are you playing? She's playing Fallout 4. I have no idea. I played like 10 minutes of a Fallout game and I couldn't do it. I kept getting like wrecked. Thanks for the IDs, man. Hey, Ryan, there you are. Ryan bought the IDs earlier today. Just got them. I got those shipped out for you today too. So 2-day shipping. You should be seeing those like Tuesday or Wednesday, hopefully. You have tracking on them though. Toyo Proxies 4 Plus are also good all seasons. I've never used those ones, so at some point I will have to check them out. Have you ever autocrossed or done any road racing? If so, what tire did you run? I did. So I used to be a sponsored driver for HPT Autosports. They used to be up in Connecticut, but unfortunately they went out of business a couple years ago. But I was a sponsored autocross driver for them from it was like late 2013 to mid 2015. Super awesome company. When I was doing it, this was when I was down in Louisiana, so it was like hot and summer and sticky all the time, so I always had summer tires on the car. But at the time, it was always Bridgestone Potenza RE760 Sports. That's pretty much always been my go-to summer tire. They're affordable tires. They have a lot of really good grip once they actually heat up. I've just had really, really solid results from those ones when I used them in the past. Up here, it's a little bit different since it does rain like... Well, since we're in the rainy season right now, it rains a lot of the time, so I don't really like to run summer tires. But for all seasons, you guys know what I run. Yo, what up, Gamer Blue? Everyone's saying, see, there we go. Cameron, you getting some highs. I want to say we called the Suzuki truck a tuk-tuk. No, wait, we didn't call it a tuk-tuk. I don't want to say it was like a bongo van, what we call. I don't remember what we called it. We called it something weird, though. Okay, I need that. That's what I'm saying. Never been to the Pacific Northwest before. Where should I visit? To be honest, I would stay out of Seattle. I would not go to Seattle if you were coming up here to visit. I would go to like Leavenworth. Gig Harbor is actually a pretty cool place. There's a couple spots like down south, just north, like, oh, I guess it's north of Vancouver, south of where I'm at. Bellevue is actually a pretty like fancy city. A lot of like rich people live up in Bellevue. A lot of cool cars up there. Over in, if you're looking for like driving roads, Diablo's Dam is a really cool place. You can also do around the base of Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. Those are also really cool roads to drive. But personally, if I were you when I was coming up here, I would not suggest going to Seattle. Seattle's turned into a not the nicest of places to go. EJ swapped the 360. I'd actually totally be down for that. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Is it worth getting a better turbo? I mean, it depends on what you want from the car. I mean, I don't know what your goals are with the car, but it all depends on what you plan on doing with the car, what your goals are with the car, and kind of what you want out of it. But I mean, if you're looking for more power, then obviously a turbo is going to be worth it. Yo, that effing Civic Alice. What's going on? Sold it to me. I did sell them to you, Ryan. They are your injectors. I have 2 random ID 1300s now laying in the garage that don't fit anything, so I have no idea what I'm gonna do with those ones, but I'll figure out something to do with them. I have no idea. Maybe I'll use them as a talking piece in future videos or so. I have no idea. A lot of people make that Subaru truck. Makes one called the Sam. I've seen the Sandbar plenty of times. There was actually a Sandbar for sale around here not too long ago. There's a company called Right Hand Drive Specialties that sold one. That's who I bought my old Skyline through. They get some really weird cars that come through there. I'd smoke you in Warzone. I'm not gonna lie, Antonio. You're probably right, because I'm that dude who camps in the corner to make sure I don't die. So you know you're probably right. I'm awful at Warzone. I'll be the first one to admit it. You can ask Cameron. He's had to buy me back multiple times in Warzone. I am not good at it, but I do. It's fun to play. Mainly stick with multiplayer, but it's fun to play. Is V8 good? Depends on the V8 you get, but yes, V8s can be good. Warzone's trash. I'm trash at Warzone. I'll admit that. I have a stock 2017 WRX STI, only 6K miles on the clock. What are the chances of ringland failure? I mean, honestly, it depends on how well you maintain the car. If you take care of the car, you follow all scheduled service intervals. You obviously kind of stay away from the things that you shouldn't do in a turbo car. I mean, you could drive that thing up to 400,000 miles. There's one STI locally running around that has 450,000 miles. Stock block and stock drivetrain still. No issues with it outside of just doing general maintenance. He has had no problems with that car. Is EJ207 a good motor from Impreza GD? What power? Stock question. So the EJ207 is a pretty good motor, especially for a 2-liter. My buddy Tyler had one in his old Bug-Eye. He made 399 wheel horsepower with it on a Dom. I think it was a 1.5 XTR turbo. They're really solid stock blocks if you are planning on using one. The only downside of using a JDM motor is that you have to use a JDM ECU, so you can't use an access port, so you have to make sure you can find a tuner who can do open source tuning. But outside of that, you can make some solid power with EJ207s. Hey bro, my 2015 STI has a whining timing belt. Any reason why? Maybe your timing belt needs to be replaced. Maybe a pulley's going bad. Maybe the tensioner's going bad. If I were you, I would definitely go in there, kind of check out what's going on with it, just to make sure that everything is solid, because the last thing you want is that timing belt to snap. That's just going to create a lot of problems. So I would go in there, inspect it, at least do a visual inspection on it. You can at least take the front covers off of the timing belt cover, crank the motor over by hand off of the crank pulley, and kind of take a peek at it just to see if you can see any cracks in the belt. Maybe you can get to the pulley to see if any of the pulleys are a little bit loose or coming off. So I would just go through there, double check everything, and make sure that you are solid. Buy an RSTI. I'd rather build an RSTI than buy one. Sure. Are Bridgestone Tundra Quiet Track good all seasons? I have no idea. I have never used them. How bad was the curbing? Any rash on the wheels? Are you guys talking to me about that one? Are you referring to me jumping a curb in the BRZ? Is that what you're referring to, Vorlenis? Me jumping the BRZ? What's the fastest car you've ever owned? The fastest car I have ever owned was probably my old Maserati. I went through a weird phase. So the Blueberry, the one that all of you guys know on the channel, at one point I did sell that car and I bought a Maserati. Not my finest moment. Let me see if I can find a picture of this thing. I'll show you a picture of it. It was a fun car. It was a fun, weird looking paddle shifty doodad. How do I get to my own thing from here? There we go. It was weird. I definitely enjoyed it when I did have the car. I only had it for 3 weeks or so. But when I did have it... Okay, come on. Where's this photo? Where... No, that's my small dog. Is this the only photo I have of it? This is literally the only photo I have left of it. That was my old Maserati. So I sold the Blueberry 2 years ago for this I think it was a 2013 Maserati Gran Turismo. That was probably the fastest car I've had. It wasn't like crazy fast, but it was fun. I think it was like 480 wheel horsepower, something like that. It had like I think it was Ferrari V8 or something. I don't know. I sold that car back to the dealership because they kind of screwed me over on the paperwork stuff, wanted more money from me. It was a cheap car too. I only paid like $30,000 for that Maserati. But I'm glad I gave it back because I dodged a bullet with that thing. So, whew. Normal. There we go. What to do if I smell fuel in my exhaust and it sounds weird now? Are you pro-tuned? Are you OTS tuned? I need a little bit more information on what's going on with the car, my man. No one is here. LOL. Ah, I see. You're clever. You are clever, my friend. 2020 WRX opinion. It's a good car. I mean, if you're trying to buy a WRX, you'd want to buy one like 17 plus. The 15s and the 16s had the whole pitch stop weld issue where Subaru released the TSB. It's not a problem having a 15 or 16, but if you experience the pitch stop weld, I mean, yes, Subaru is going to fix it for you, but whenever it comes down to it, I mean, it's not something you want to deal with. So, I mean, the 2020 and the 2020 is supposed to have a revised ECU that has less rev hang, but people have been saying the opposite, and they're still saying it has rev hang. So, it's still a solid car to get if you are considering a 2020 WRX. Also, I couldn't remember Hoovie's car last night. 2020 Beck Spider is what he got, and he's putting an EJ in it. Copycats. Copycats. No, I'm joking. Hoovie's Garage is actually a pretty cool channel. He does a lot of like interesting stuff. I'm probably the worst at Call of Duty. How goes it tonight? What's going on, Logan? What's going on, my dude? I have a 2020 STI, and I love it. Hey, glad you're digging the car, my dude. Hey, should I get the new Rally STI rims and tires for my 2018 STI because I want to lift it an inch maybe? What wheels and tires are you looking at? Because I've seen people run a variety of wheels and tires whenever it comes to anything like that. Yo, what's going on? Brad, yeah, you're live. What's going on, Brad? How you doing, dude? What's involved in powder coating and why do it? Looks great, though. You will see in tomorrow's video, my friend. You will definitely see. So I did buy a DIY powder coating setup. That video goes live tomorrow morning for you guys. So that will answer all of your questions of why I got it, why I'm doing it, and what's all involved in the process. But it's a lot easier than people think. Any suggestions for modding my 4.3 S10? Slam it. My buddy had an S10. He put that thing on bags, and that thing was the gnarliest little like tiny truck I've ever seen. It was cool. It was definitely cool. If I could ever get like a nice little fun S10 to drive around, I'd definitely do one. I like more of the boxy styles of them, but whenever it comes to modding them, I am not the expert in modding an S10. I know how to make one look cool though. Are Sparco wheels good? Sparco wheels are awesome. If you are looking for like the rally spec Sparco wheels, I've seen a lot of people use their rally spec wheels out in like rallycross, taking them out, tearing up trails like that, throwing some bigger tires on them, and they've been pretty solid wheels for what they're doing. So yeah, Sparco's been awesome. What's been your most favorite used tool in the garage lately? Probably the powder coating machine if you're counting that as a tool. But if you're counting it as like if you're counting like a normal tool, probably my calipers. Like I use my calipers more than any other tool probably in that garage. Just for, I don't even know like why. I measure a lot of weird things just to make like everything like symmetrical even. Like I had to redo the alignment on the BRZ today. Calipers. I use calipers all the time for everything. You ever gonna come take the BRZ down to Thunder Hill in California? I would love the opportunity to, but your boy's broke and there's no way he can afford gas down there and back up here. So at some point in the future, I would absolutely love to. That'd be a blast to be able to do. Where do I live? I live in Washington, about an hour south of Seattle. Yes, the BRZ. Do you guys want to see the video of me jumping the curb in the BRZ? Because I'll show you guys that video if you want to see it. It's a little funny. I got a little too saucy and paid the price for getting a little saucy. So if you guys want to see the video, let me know and I'll pull up the video and I'll show you guys me sending the BRZ over the curb. Get a Mitsubishi Danica 4x4, or at least check it out. A Mitsubishi Danica? Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. What's going on here? Mitsubishi Danica? Danica. What is this thing? I don't think I'm looking at the right photos here. That's because I didn't spell it right, for one. Jesus. Yeah, I still don't think I'm looking at the right photos here. I have no idea what it is. I'll see if I can find it later, though. Maserati, is this guy rich? The Maserati was only $30,000. It was cheap. The Maserati is cheaper than a brand new STI is. That thing is not expensive at all. 15 STI, Catless NVIDIA Turbo Back. Who is the best e-tuner? Kind of depends on what you want. Eric over at Torque Performance is awesome. Ambot, from what I've seen, is pretty good too. There's a lot of like really good e-tuners out there. Jumped a curb. Ugh, at least you didn't open... Yeah, I straight jumped that thing. It was definitely a blast. You should grab a Momo steering wheel for the GDWRX for the BRZ or the STI. The STI is going to be getting a quick release steering wheel setup. Why you search in incognito? I'm not in incognito. Nothing over here is in incognito. This is all like my normal search history. Is the NVIDIA R400 Gemini a good catback? It actually is a pretty solid catback. I've heard a couple of them in person. They're pretty reasonably priced too compared to some of like the competitor priced catbacks out on the market. So the R400, it's pretty tamed up until you really get on the car. So I mean, it's a pretty solid exhaust if it's one you're looking at. Cheapest, most reliable daily driver V8 manual car. I have no idea. I'd have to look into that. I have no idea. You guys are asking a lot of V8 questions lately, so I guess I'm going to be looking into some V8 stuff here in the near future because I have absolutely no idea. Has Outfront finished your block? No, they haven't. If Outfront finished my block, you guys would get a video that day of me picking up the motor and all of that. The last update I got from Outfront was things are in progress, quote unquote, and they will try to get me some photos soon. So that is all I've been told at this point. So I'm still waiting for the motor to be finished by Outfront. I've already paid for everything except for shipping back up here because I don't know how much to send them for shipping. So no, it's paid for. I'm just waiting for it to be done at this point. So hopefully in the near future it's done. I just have no idea when it will be done. Is 400 horsepower crank? Is 400 crank horsepower over a stock 2013 STI a good place to stop from a reliability standpoint? This would be with reliability mods. I mean, I'd say push it to 400 wheel horsepower. That's what I did. It was pretty reliable. The only thing that kind of pooped out on us was the clutch. So, I mean, if you build it right, it'll be totally awesome. You have like a solid tune on the car. You shouldn't have any issues as long as you're not going like like full throttle, like every opportunity you get. You should be totally fine. Best downpipe for GD STI, catted and catless. If you want catless, my suggestion is going to be NVIDIA. It's a cheap downpipe that's catless. If you're looking for a good catted one, Cobb, Nameless Performance. I don't think ETS makes them. I would either go with Cobb or Nameless Performance, to be honest, or Grimspeed. Those would be my three go-tos. Hi! What's going on? It's Electric. How you doing? At what point is it too late to install an access port, mileage-wise, on a well-running 2011 WRX? It's never too late. You can install an access port on a WRX that has 400,000 miles on it if you wanted to. It doesn't matter how many miles are on the car. What it matters is how healthy is the engine, how healthy is the motor. As long as the motor comes back with a solid compression and solid leak down test, you should totally be fine. Hyped for the powder coat video. Yo, I was hyped to like use the powder coat stuff. That stuff was awesome. It's going all right at work. Hope it don't snow tonight. Don't have the winter tires on yet. Yeah, it's starting to snow out in Washington. Nothing over here. We don't really get a lot of snow since we're like right by the Pacific Ocean. We like typically there's a lot of snow like up north, out east. Nothing really down south so much, but typically we're like right in this little area that like very rarely gets snow. Keep up the good content, my man. Anytime, my dude. I'm gonna keep it coming. Keep it rolling. Oscar. Okay, that's responding back up. Hey, what's going on? Ablin? Don't judge me for butchering names. What are some beginner tools? I have a whole video on that, my friend. You can pretty much get away with doing like 80 to 90% of your installs with the tools I outlined in a video. I think it's like 15 tools that any Subaru enthusiast or any Subaru enthusiast needs. Go check out that video. It will definitely tell you like every single tool I suggest you to buy to get away with like the majority of the installs that you're doing. Just finished my 06 STI stock block FBO Tomei MX8 625E. Made good power. Wish me luck. Well, good luck, my friend. Next month I'm going stage 2 on my 16WX. Very nice. Show the video! Of course you guys wanted to see the video. Alright. I've labeled it dumbass in here, so let me get this pulled up. Wow, that just took up my entire screen. So, why did the thing just move? Why are we doing that, Streamlabs? That's not what I told you to do. Alright, let me change the window capture. I'll show you guys. Where's it at? What is this? QuickTime Player. QuickTime Player. Where are you? Where's QuickTime Player? Why? Desktop. Settings, Streamlabs, Airport Extra. What is Airport Extra? Notification centers, Siri. Where is it? Alright, hold up. Let me delete this one. And then make a new one, I guess. Or can I just hide it? Oh! Look at that. Alright. Since you guys want to see me sending the BRZ into a curb, we will do that. We will definitely do that. So this window capture needs to get like super small. And then I need to change the output. Dude, I'm riding the struggle bus trying to get this thing set up. Where is QuickTime Player on here? We're just going to like go through these. That's obvious in my desktop. That's not it. That's the folder that I put it in called Dumbass. Here it is. Alright, there it is. Done. Now, I'm going to premise this. You guys are going to see me straight up send this BRZ into a curb. This is what happens when you get like too much chooch going on. So, let's break this down. As you can see up here, the light is yellow. Wait, hold up. Let me like scroll back up so I don't lose where I was after this. Alright, so as you guys can see, the light is definitely yellow as I'm trying to go through this intersection here. Let's break it down a little bit. Fuck it. Well, so Matt and I were going to the gas station. I'll premise it like that, and I was trying to like full send. Straight up on the curb. All the way up on the curb. We went like full send up on the curb. Surprisingly enough, nothing broke. Nothing at all broke. But I was getting a little too saucy. I got a little too saucy. It did no damage though. No damage. Everything was fine. Everything was totally fine with it. It happens. Just remember, don't go full send, because when you go full send, you jump curbs. Surprisingly, like no wheel rash either to anything. We were both dying laughing after that. But yeah, don't do it. Don't go full send. Let's hide that one. What just happened here? Now I have like 5 window captures open. Thankfully didn't hit a car. Yeah, for real, don't go full chooch. Never go full chooch. I wasn't anticipating to do that. I wasn't anticipating for that to happen. But it definitely happened. So, you know. The only thing that was damaged was my ego. But we're totally solid. So yeah, some of you guys were asking. There's no wheel rash. None of the wheels got like wrecked. All the tires are fine. No suspension components are bent. No suspension components broke. The only thing that shifted was the lower eccentric bolt on the coilover in the front. So that was with traction control on too. So it's kind of good to know that the traction control did absolutely nothing to stop me from being a dumbass. But you know, I was having fun up until we went straight over the curb backwards. Wow, that seemed fun. Oh, it was a blast. Thank God nobody else was there for real. Only my ego was damaged in that one. You need some drift lessons. I've said this in multiple videos. I am awful at drifting, and that is not my forte. Thankfully, you didn't hit a car. Totally agree with that one. I crashed like that in Gran Turismo. I did that in a C4 Vet too. You know what? It happened. No big deal. It happened. Way better than doing it at the curb with the front end. Solid spin out. Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have the back end go up and over than the front end. A lot more clearance in the back. Looked like fun. It was fun. Until, you know, like I jumped over the curb. And then, oh, actually, I want to pull that back up. I want to see if you guys can hear this. Of me trying to, like, launch it, like, straight off the curb again. Let me minimize that. Open that back up. Close that. Go back in here. Go back in here. Bring this back down. I wonder if you guys can hear it. Is this the same video that it's showing? Okay, yeah, it is. Let's increase the size of... Why can't... What is this? What is this window that I have open right now? Remove. Window capture. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Streamlabs is freaking out right now. It's grabbing things I don't want it to grab. Alright. There we go. Now I've got it. So, where is it? After I'm on the curb, this is where it got fun. This is where it got dicey.
Oh, there she is.
Sending it like... Just scraping the hell out of the car, getting back off the curb. That was a blast. That was fun. You know, lesson learned. Lesson learned. Your traction control may have been a factor in that. Try sliding with that off, and I bet you'll have an easier time. For sure. It also would have helped if I was initially trying to do that. But you know what? No biggie. So, let me swing back up here and catch back up on comments, and then we'll jump into more of that stuff. I'm about to graduate college next year, and I'm looking to get a WRX. Should I wait till next year to see what happens, or what? I mean, I would suggest getting like one of the older ones or one of the current models. The FA20 WRX has been out for so long that we already have like a pretty good idea of how to modify the engines. The EJ's also been around for 20 plus years at this point, so if you wanted to, you could definitely use the research that's already been done on that one. Plus, you're going to save a lot of money, too. I mean, if you really want a new one coming out of college as like a graduation gift to yourself, you can definitely snag a new one, but I would suggest grabbing one of the older ones. Mitsubishi Delica. I'll check that one out here in a little bit. It's a van. Oh. Pitchforks have been drawn. BRZ video. Well, yeah. If you're just graduating, okay, that's back up there. Bad luck for me today. EBC black dash rear slotted rotors. Do not fit 2015 plus WRX, even though they are sold as rotors for that model. Ooh, dude, sorry to hear. That's an expensive one too. Rotors ain't cheap. Rotors are not cheap at all. I have a... Okay, gotcha. You're just back up there. Would installing a block heater in my Legacy GRB 208 be an easy task? I've never installed a block heater, so I'm going to be honest, I have no idea if it's an easy task or not. I'm pretty sure it's just, I think it taps into one of the oil ports and it keeps the oil lubricated or the coolant, or not lubricated, warm so it doesn't freeze. I'm not entirely sure how that works, so I don't know. Have you done work with Steve at Horizontal Motor Ports? I have not. I've never heard of Horizontal Motor Ports before, but I will definitely have to check them out. Can I get like the internet stream back pulled up? How do I... Where's my window capture? Window capture, let's remove this one. Remove that one. Okay. Can I get my internet window pulled back up here? Because that's what we want. Let's go back to Safari. It's this one. Yep. Done. Sick. Alright, we got that pulled back up. Now that we're done enjoying my BRZ curb jump, which was a blast. That was fun. Horizontal motor ports, I have not, unfortunately. Smash the like button, that's what I'm saying. You're already on it, my dude. I think I roasted my clutch. Started it in third. Then when I went to start it in first again, I heard a really loud clanking and grinding sound. Ooh. Whenever I give it any power, it doesn't move and it clanks. Any ideas? Whenever I... I would check your throwout bearing, first of all. I would check your clutch fork. Also, I don't know if you have a WRX or STI. You could also shear the pin if it's an STI because you have like a, God, the camera's like right there. You have this rod, we'll call it. It's a rod that goes in and it holds the clutch fork, and then on the very end of it there's a pin. If you have a lot of force going on it, you could have just like sheared the pin a little bit, and that's why you might hear rattling around in there too. So I would definitely, I mean, there's a small access panel. You could definitely like look in there with a flashlight if you wanted to. That's actually what I would suggest doing. Look in the access panel, see what you can see first. Is it worth adding an AOS at 60,000 miles? 100%. You can add an AOS at whatever mileage you want, and it's still going to benefit your motor. Do you drive Toge? I do not drive Toge, but that would be very fun to do so. Matt and I have talked about doing it up in the mountains. We obviously can't, well, I can't do it in like the wintertime with the BRZ because as we just saw, we don't want that to happen again. But yeah, I mean, I've thought about it before, and it would definitely be fun to do. Do you recommend any dash cams? Blackview. Blackview is always my recommended dash cam. That's what we just watched with the BRZ. That was a Blackview camera. Blackview is always. I have a Blackview in the BRZ, the STI, and we have one in Melanie's Impreza. Blackview is super awesome company. I've worked with Blackview a little bit with some of their cameras before, and they do awesome stuff. Rip. Back to the BRZ sending it video comments. This one's right here. I crashed like that in Gran Turismo. That's still one of my favorite ones. Way better than going at the curb frontwards. Yep. Doc Hudson taught us you turn left, you have to turn right. That is also very true. I just went full send. Sometimes you go full send and you don't mean to. It's a lesson learned. Don't go full send. Looked like fun. I've done some scary things. And been super lucky. I've done some like sketchier stuff in some cars in the past, so I mean that was like, that wasn't too bad. I personally have the Garmin 46 and it's been pretty good so far, no complaints. There you go. I slightly did that in the GTR, but I pulled myself straight and kept going. That was frightening, dude. It was a lot worse. I did something far worse in my old Skyline, but you know that one was a while ago. Does 15 STI map sensor read temperature to let ECU know how much intercooler? It'll read manifold temperature, so you can read manifold temperature off of the access port. It's not the most accurate since it's already inside of the manifold. Your map sensor might be picking up a little bit, but the map sensor really just picks up absolute pressure inside of the manifold and not so much temperature. Why does my 16 WRX FA20 push 21 PSI boost on Cobb OTS Stage 1 Plus OTS tune versus my buddy's stock 17 STI EJ25 only pushing 17 PSI, different compression ratio? So, I mean, you do have different compression ratios between the two motors, but that's not going to determine how much overall PSI your turbo's making. That is going to be your tune. You also have to look at the turbo. You have two entirely different turbos. You have a twin scroll turbo setup. He has a standard, I believe, VF48 in his car. So I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges here, and they're not really the same. Turbo size is also going to play a factor in how much PSI you really get too. PSI isn't like the real determining factor of power either. Like if you look at the BRZ, BRZ's only tuned on 8 PSI and it makes just under 300 wheel horsepower. So I mean, most of the variance you're looking at is coming from different turbos, twin scroll versus like a standard setup. So a lot of factors going into that one, but it's not necessarily your tune. Your tune is going to play a factor on how much PSI the turbo can make. But that shouldn't be a huge difference. Then again, you didn't slam into the curb sideways. That would have been horrific. That also would have been horrific. At least I got the car like to fully flip around backwards, rather than hitting it sideways or head on, because either of those would have been those would have broken parts. Hitting it either like head on or sideways definitely would have broken parts on the BRZ. Hey, I live in Olympia. And I've heard you say cold air intakes aren't great for the Pacific Northwest, yet you run them in your cars. I do not run any cold air intakes in any of my cars. The BRZ has a short ram intake. The STI at the time had a short ram intake also. I have a 2015 WRX. I'm looking to get a Grimspeed intake. Thoughts? So if you have a 2015 plus WRX, your intake is going to be a lot different when it comes to cold air intakes. If you look at older EJ WRXs and older EJ STIs, a cold air intake would come off of the turbo inlet and go like deep down into the fender liner, where you have the potential to suck up a lot of water. I mean, up here it rains a lot. You can get some pretty deep puddles. But for your 2015 WRX, the cold air intake is a little bit different because your turbo sits down low, and then the intake wraps up and around into the top of the engine bay. So I mean, your intake placement isn't low and near the ground, so you should be totally fine in it with yours. Personally, EJ stuff where the intake hangs like super close to the ground, I've never been a huge fan of that because you do have a potential of sucking up water if you go through a deep enough puddle, and like say your fender liner's ripped, you have no fender liner, it can be detrimental. I'm building a track Subaru here soon. Ooh, sounds fun. Sounds like a fun build. There we go. Stefan's on it, dude. Horizontal Motorsports. Horizontal Motorsports. I know who Horizontal Motorsports is. I haven't worked with them in the past, though. Hey, a tube. Oh, my goodness. Hey, a tube fell out of my engine, and now it won't start. Any ideas what's wrong? What was the tube? I mean, there could be a lot of problems there, but what was the tube, dude? The tube is really going to determine what the problem was. I would try putting the tube back on and see if that fixes the problem. Greg, hello. What's going on, dude? Great content, man. Keep it up. Always, my dude. Always. Evil X. 17WX FBO DW300C. Complex sensor. Ready for flex tune. But thinking about the Nostrum high pressure fuel pump. I've seen quite a few posts about the high pressure fuel pump today. To be able to pour in straight E85. If I tune before getting the Nostrum pump, will I have to... Yes, you will have to retune. You will have to get a retune. I would definitely get that high pressure fuel pump, which I saw the price on that thing today too. It was like $680 for a high pressure fuel pump. But yes, you will need a retune. We don't know what car you have, Future. True. True. We also don't know what the tube goes to. Kevin, what up? What are good exterior mods? That is all personal taste. I like my cars like OEM Plus look, where it's not like crazy over the top. Like, let's look at an OEM Plus. We'll say like 2017 Subaru STI OEM Plus. We'll see if we can get like a good option here. I don't see a single good option I'm looking at. I like simple options like OEM Plus looking stuff, like an OEM style lip, side skirts, rear splitter, maybe this like little vortex generator guy up here. OEM Plus is like my taste, but I mean, honestly, it boils down to like what you like aesthetically out of a car. That's going to determine what you want to do exterior wise to it. It makes sense, Gibson. It just makes sense. Gonna need a discount code for Blackview plug. I don't have a discount. I don't have discount codes through anyone. You think companies like me? Companies don't like me. I say some companies have good parts. I also say those same companies have bad parts. Companies don't like me at all. A lot of companies actually hate me because I've, like, talked poop about their stuff. Hey, Alex, appreciate the dono. As always, my dude. Gotta bail again. Take care and good luck on the STI. Hey, thanks, my dude. Have a safe and awesome Saturday night, my friend. But yeah, for the most part, companies don't like me. I've hopped into a couple of Grimspeed's live streams. Grimspeed doesn't like me at all. I have a feeling Grimspeed doesn't like me. Oh my god, I did the cat! That's awesome! Streamlabs did the cat. That's crazy awesome. I know Grimspeed doesn't like me because every time I hop into one of Grimspeed's live streams, I always try to ask him a question, and they always like straight ignore me every single time. Every single time. I don't know so much about some other companies, but I know a good handful of them don't really like me. So no discount codes, unfortunately. I have a V8 swapped Honda 2000. What? What motor do you have in that thing? I'm curious. Is there a different background for the OEM GD boost gauge so it reads PSI instead of MPA? The OEM one, I don't think so. Because if you think about it, you'd have to recalibrate the gauge too, because the gauge is calibrated to read MPA. I believe it's MPA versus PSI. So unfortunately, no. But if you are reading bar is not too hard to understand. 1 bar is going to be atmospheric pressure, which is going to be 0. So if your motor is idling at 14.7, 1 bar is going to put it at 0. 2 bar is going to be 14.7 pounds, and then 3 bar you just add 14.7 on top of all of that with the starting point of negative 14.7, and that kind of gives you what it is, because you have to take atmospheric pressure, get it up to 0, and then add on top of that. Keep my 05 STI body stock or wide body exterior? Wide body. Wide body it. Wide body that blob. I like wide body bobs. If you are going to do it, though, do it right. Do it right. People who've been in the Subaru world for a while know what I'm about to do. SDI. Who knows who Carlton is? Carlton fender flares. These are the only fender flares anyone should ever do on a GD chassis because honestly, Carlton fender flares, they just look right. Oh, that's someone's video. I ruined my car with fender flares. Like, Carlton fender flares, I don't know what about them, but they are, like, the best-looking fender flare for any GD model out there. If you're gonna do it, fender flares. Who said MAP hates him? MAP might hate me, I have no idea. Getting harder and harder to buy them by the day. I mean, if you're gonna fender flare the car, at least do it. Get some like Carlton fender flares. You cannot go wrong with Carlton fender flares. Can you show the video where that Forester falls off a cliff? I mean, I could, but why do we want to watch the Forester roll off the cliff? I have a 11 hatch. I found an $82 AOS. Would that work? It says universal, but I don't really want to spend. Charlie, drop the brand name of the AOS, and I'll pull it up, and we can take a look at it. But as stated right here, don't cheap out on an AOS. IAG, Radium, and Crawford are really all of my recommendations. You guys are on this. You guys already know what I'm about to say on all this. Like, you guys already like predict my answers before I can even do it. Awesome. Thanks for the clarified response on the CAI for the 2015 WRX. Love the videos and the info. Anytime, my dude. Chris, what's up? It was the tube under my car, like the long one down the middle. Your mid-pipe, if your mid-pipe fell off, it wouldn't stop your car from starting. If your mid-pipe fell off, you would just have a massive exhaust leak. If it's not starting, I would kind of diagnose like why it's not starting. Check power, check air, fuel, and spark. That's going to make your car run. Start with those three things. Thanks for the great content. Anytime, my friend. What does a stock STI need to run E85? Just the Cobb kit? No, not necessarily. To run E85 appropriately, you're going to need injector. I mean, I don't know what the Cobb kit consists of. I think you're like talking about the E85 Cobb fuel kit. I think theirs comes with... Okay, I guess I should clarify here. I think you're talking about this kit right here. If this is the kit you're talking about, you can buy this, and this will work for all of your E85 needs. Already has the injectors, fuel pressure regulator, ethanol sensor, fuel pressure sensor, everything that you need. So, I mean, if you bought, like, this kit right here, that would definitely work to be able to run E85. Personally, I would suggest sourcing all of your own parts because you're definitely going to save some money. What do they sell this kit for? Oh, my God. I would not spend $2,500 on that kit. To be honest, a fuel pump, $150. ID 1050s, you could probably get a set for $500. Fuel rails, $200. IEG fuel lines, you can get for like $480, $450. Ethanol sensor, about $600. You could piece together your own kit for like 3/4 of the price. So I would necessarily wouldn't buy Cobb's. You could definitely make your own for cheaper. But everything in this picture right here is what you would need to be able to run E85. Oof, donation! That's what I'm saying. Alex been killing it. That's 2 days in a row Alex been donating. Tasteful exterior mods, like what you've done myself. Exactly. I mean, I like mine. I like my exterior mods that I've done on my cars. I feel like they're pretty tasteful and pretty, like, tamed, chill, relaxed. If I have a hood exit exhaust and it started raining, would that be bad? They have a water cooling for the turbo. I mean, I don't think it would be good because, like, depending on how heavy the rain is, you can definitely get a small puddle, like, sitting at the bottom of the exhaust. Like, if it's like coming straight up, you could definitely have like a pool of water down here, which can start rusting away the inside of the exhaust for one, the back side of the turbo for two. But granted, you're probably just going to get some like surface rust on the CHRA of the turbo. But you can get a little flapper do. I've seen people do little flapper do's on their hood exit exhaust, and you should be totally fine. Oh, hell yeah, the cat. That's what I'm saying. The cat is epic. That was the first time I've seen the cat. The cat actually worked. Enjoy the stream, homies. That's what I'm saying. Always appreciate it, Alex. Just keep it simple with modifying cars. I mean, you say that until you start going down the rabbit hole, and then like simple turns into like a whole nother thing, and simple becomes complex, and you end up on like the backside of a rainbow upside down, and you have no idea what you're doing anymore. I don't know what any of that just meant. I bought the wrong STI mirrors. I got the Legacy Forester ones. I've done that before. I actually almost did that. I tried to buy some from a company in Japan, and then they at least like saved it and kind of said no. I know it is not part of today's topic, but I wanted to know your opinion of the new Nissan Z. Greetings from Mexico City. I actually love it. Nissan 400Z. I love this thing. Don't know. Where's the Nismo version? I don't know if this is like a concept. Nismo. If I could, this is a car I'd buy. 100% that. Okay, not that picture. This is a car I would 100% buy. I absolutely love the look of this thing. I love Z cars. I've always loved Z cars. I've had 2 Z cars in the past. And if I could ever get the opportunity to own the 400Z, I would absolutely love to snag one. The 400Z, maybe one day down the road would be a car that I'd sell the BRZ for. But I'd love a 400Z. I mean, even the non-Nismo version, this yellow one, I'm not a huge fan of the yellow color. But I absolutely love this thing. I'd love to have a 400Z if I ever got the opportunity. Some people hate it. Some people absolutely hate the front end on this thing, and they say that it looks absolutely nothing like a 280ZX or a 280Z. Datsun 280Z. You can't tell me, no one can tell me that this car right here in its stock form does not look like an updated version of that. They are same. Straight up same. I love this car. I would love to get one. But I'd also love to have like an OG 280 like this. I love 280Zs though. Like the older ones. It's the same. They even had the rectangle grill on the old one, and people are saying that they hate the rectangle grill up here. Like, bruh, the old one had it also. It's just covered up by like a front bumper. It's ridiculous. You think MA Performance hates you? Why does Grimspeed hate you, or why do you think they... I don't know. I've like openly said that Grimspeed's air oil separator is garbage and trash. That might be why Grimspeed doesn't like me. I have no idea. As for MA Performance, I honestly don't know if MA Performance hates me or not. They may just dislike me. I honestly can't answer that question. I have no idea. I said good things about their product. I just said bad things about their customer service. How am I supposed to make you extra money from sponsors if you don't have sponsor affiliates? The only affiliate stuff I have is Amazon links. I'm sorry. Companies don't like me enough to give me discount codes. 2015 Ford Mustang engine. It's a 5-liter. Interesting. That's actually a very interesting swap. I've never heard of anyone doing that before. What's up, bro? Should I heat wrap my aftermarket headers 2015 Subaru STI? Personally, I would not wrap your headers. I would definitely get them ceramic coated as stated just below that. See, I can see it right there popping up in the chat. Grimspeed AOS is such trash. So true. That's what I'm saying. It just recycles the oil back in the intake system. It is trash. It's straight trash. But no, definitely get them ceramic coated. Whenever it comes to wrap, it never holds up, and it always like tears apart over time. It can retain too much heat. It can crack the material that the header is made out of also. So ceramic coat, definitely the way to go. Does the FA20 have issues with bad boost creep? Some people say it's a new motor and the new wastegate is ahead of the old VF, and others say the motor will totally die when I run it. It's always possible. Hey, appreciate the dono. God, I'm gonna butcher the name again. Propsico? I'm so bad with names. Always appreciate you guys. The donos always go back into the channel, back into the builds, and definitely help buy future parts for swaps and anything else that we're doing with any other cars, so it's always appreciated. As for the boost creep question, any car is subject to boost creep. Whether it be... So the issue with boost creep and why it happens is the internal hole of the internal wastegate can only allow so much exhaust gas to flow through. When you go catless, it really opens things up and it really lets exhaust try to flow through. The internal wastegate does get overwhelmed and that exhaust gas has to go somewhere, so it spins up the turbo a little bit quicker, which is why you get the big spike in boost. But no, any catless car that's still internally gated can definitely be subject to boost creep. The internal wastegate on the FA20's turbo might be a little bit more efficient, but it's still going to have issues with boost creep, especially when it gets colder outside. Okay, in the cold weather, just moved from Seattle to Detroit. Ooh, Detroit is a cold area. So AOS and cold weather, good question. IAG actually released a Facebook post on it. I believe it was like 2 years ago at this point. If you are running an AOS in like I think it was sub-freezing temperatures, you do run the risk of the return line freezing and not allowing oil to go back into the system. So if you are in like a very cold area, I do suggest getting a catch can set up over an AOS, so that way you're not just like plumbing, like just a catch can will be better for like super cold areas. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull it up right now. Parent upgraded air oil separator CNC aluminum fitting kit universal. Okay. I won't let me copy it from the chat. Parent universal AOS? There's an AOS, right? AOS. I've never seen a Perrin universal AOS before. Perrin upgraded air oil separator. That's what. Okay, Perrin upgraded air oil separator. I don't know. I don't know what this is, dude. Is this what you're talking about? Because this just looks like some fittings. That just looks like some fittings. I am no help on that question because I do not know. Subscribers Garage? Yeah, we'll do some Subscribers Garage. Does your STI have XD9s? They're D9Rs, but same. Yeah, why not? We'll do some Subscribers Garage. We'll take a look at some of your guys' cars. Jeremy, Mr. Fox, so you in here, my friend. This dude right here with his new project car. I thought this thing was funny. He sent this in the other day. We'll do a couple of cars in here, and then we'll jump back into some more Q&A stuff. Mix it up a little bit so that way we can get some spice. We can get some spice flowing in here. Hey, I'm here to start. Let's start the conversation about the 4th gen Charger again. I told you I liked it, my dude. With photos for everyone to see. We'll dip it. We'll dip into it a little bit. Fox, you see this? What is this? What is this? Fox Uncensored here. Just call me Fox. Not much to show yet, but I have a 2002 Volkswagen new Beetle GL automatic 2-liter pulled out of someone's backyard for $450. You got that thing for $450? In 2018, I changed out the coil pack, put new transmission sensors in it, and it's on the road, then rode again, then handed it off to mom to drive for a while so I could go back to work. Subaru Tax. 2017 WRX, no mods. I see it back there. It's creeping. Oh my god, dude, there's diagrams and everything. This is in depth. 3 months ago, she gave it back after getting a nicer car. So now the build begins. Phase 1 is to do a rear frame swap from an MK1 Audi TT Quattro. My stepdad actually has that exact car. Very interesting enough. Phase 2 is to rip out the drivetrain and do something special with a W8 4-liter compact 8. You're going to put a W8 in this thing? Final power. You're trying to make 800 horsepower out of this Beetle with a W8? Yo. Fox, keep me updated on this, dude. W8 short block, Passat W8 engine bay. Keep me updated on this because I'm definitely curious to see if... I want to see this thing on the dyno with 800... You said 800 wheel horsepower on a W8. I definitely want to hear that thing. I've been sitting on the idea for a while and haven't shared the details with Minnie until now. Welcome to Project... Scarab, everyone. Extra photos will illustrate the frame changes in mind. This is interesting. Keep me updated on this, dude. Fox, you better get focused. That's what I'm saying. 800 wheel horsepower out of a Beetle. A W8. That is insane. That would be nuts. That'd be fun. Like I said, Fox, keep me updated on that thing because I'm definitely curious. What else we got in here? What else we got? I got some old ones from July too. We'll mix it up. We'll do like 5. We'll do like 5 or 6 Subscriber Garage cars tonight. Nicholas, what do you got? Ooh, we got a BMW in here. There's no information about it, but we got a BMW. This right here, this is the BMW that I've always wanted. What is the E30? Are these E36 or E46? I don't know. But this is the BMW I've always wanted. I think this is the BMW that everyone's always wanted. I'll be doing videos on it as it goes on my channel. Definitely keep me updated, Fox, because I want to see the Beetle progress. I have always wanted... ever since I saw one of these, like, way back in the day, it's got NTO3s on it, too. I mean, NTO3s look good on absolutely any car. But this is a car that I've wanted for years. Absolutely years. Really solid fitment on that thing, too. Not a lot of photos, but I've always wanted E46 M3. Thank you, AJ. I have always wanted, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's always wanted one of these things, but they look so clean. Like the weird looking headlights, like the simplicity of it, they look solid. I wish he would have added some info in here about the M3, but hey, one day maybe I can snag one of those. Maybe one day we can snag an E46. What else? What else we got? I'm getting pretty caught up on these, so I'm pretty stoked. Holly, are you in here tonight? What was the email again for subscribers' cars? E36 over E46 all day. I will add the email in here, so you guys can do it. It's going to make me sign into chat. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. So the email, if you guys do want to send in any cars for us to check out on the channel, there is the email. Feel free to send it over. I am well aware that there is a typo in that email also, so don't overly judge for it. But, alright, hi, this is Lee. I have a stock drivetrain. I am tracking my car. My power goal is more than enough. Mods, Olin's coilovers, SSR wheels, PS4S, Hayabusa JDM taillights, Cusco, Bride seats, forged carbon steering wheel. Sounds like you got some goodies. I will eventually put a built short block in, just not yet. I see a lot of teal, a lot of like the neon color going on up in the engine bay up here. I've never been a huge fan of like shrouds and everything like that, but to each their own. I'm digging the SSRs. I'm also digging that Hawkeye in the background. I see you hiding back there. Ooh, goodness. What track is this? I'm curious on what track this is. I also am digging the CWP on the car too. Good to see him getting out on the track. I need to do more of that because you guys judge me quite a bit for not getting out on the track enough. But, you know, it's all right. It's all right. I'll get out there at some point. I've seen a lot of these steering wheels floating around. Who's like heard of the Burns Auto controversy? Because that's what these steering wheels always remind me of. I know like the 15 plus WRX pages on Facebook turned into like an absolute like shit show whenever like the Burns Auto like topic ever came up. Yo, I want those seats also. Those are the seats I'm getting for the STI. Awesome. Awesome to see those seats. But yeah, this steering wheel, every time I see these steering wheels, they always remind me of like the whole like Burns Auto fiasco. Looks kind of like Willow Springs in the background. I don't understand why people have camber to their wheels. Some people, I mean, it's good for traction depending on what you're racing. Does putting flame stickers on my car actually boost the horsepower? Yes, it should increase horsepower by around like 75 wheel horsepower. It's to the wheel, not to the crank. But yes, flame stickers, man. Way to go. Awesome to see you getting the car out on the track, my dude. Video, can I watch this without... I don't want to do that. I don't know why they do that. How bad is it to replace timing belt covers on EJ257 engine? I recently found out that my 2016 STI had a timing belt cover crack. If it's the outer covers, they're incredibly easy. If it's the inner covers, you have to pull off the entire timing belt assembly and the cam gears, and that actually sucks a lot to do. So hopefully it's one of the outer covers. It's pretty easy to swap out the outer covers. Yo, I swear I just heard a ghost in here or something. I steered clear of Burns, purchased the RA wheel. It's amazing with Sparco gloves at the track. I have the RA wheel also. I absolutely love the RA wheel, but since I'm like pulling all airbags out of the STI, there's not really a point in me keeping the RA wheel in there unless I got like an airbag delete or something like that. So it just makes a little bit more sense to get like a high quality Momo wheel or something like that. What video topics can we expect over the next few weeks? I honestly have no idea because I typically think of them like a day or two ahead of filming them or the same day as filming them. So to be honest, I don't know. What video topics do you guys want to see? If you guys have any like information topics or anything like that like you guys want to learn about, feel free to throw it in the comments. I'll definitely take note of them and I can add them to the board and definitely get them made. Where can I find that attachment to the engine that makes your car go stew, 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 stew when you shift down? I wouldn't get one of those unless you're going on speed density. Good coilovers for WRX? Man, you guys are like super pumped with the questions tonight. Fortunato all the way. That's always going to be my recommendation to you guys. Fortunato coilovers, 100%. You cannot go wrong with them. Would I prefer adding a PRL turbo on a Civic LX18? I don't even know what an LX18 is. I don't even know what that is, but if you're adding a turbo to it, I mean, turbos make things much, much better. Ryan, track day video. So, I mean, I can't get out to the track right now. Tracks are pretty much closed. Weather is pretty poopy up here nowadays. The track's pretty much all closed in the wintertime up here. The time attack course that I wanted to go out to is closed for the wintertime due to, like, repaving the entire track. I will try to get out to some autocross courses, but we will definitely see if that works because I am not entirely sure. I can put people in timeout. I didn't know I could do that. Don't spam the comments. Any word on if IAG equal length header are good? IAG headers are actually pretty awesome headers. I've seen a lot of people use them. Who was it? I want to say it was like PRE Racing out here, someone like that. Did a comparison video on, I think they did ETS and Killer B though. I haven't seen a whole lot of testing going on with the IAG equal length header setup unless IAG's done some testing, but outside of IAG doing it, I haven't seen any testing going on with those ones. Hit up my car. I want to hear your opinion on what should be next. Christian, what's your... Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find your car in here, Christian. Let me see. Bam. All right, Christian. We'll take a peek at your car, my dude, because I know you've been waiting for it. All right. Damn, winter tracks closed. That's lame. Thunderhill open year-round. Dude, that's how Washington is. You got, like, give and takes with Washington State. Unfortunately, like, I mean... Give and takes, my dude. At least up here in Washington, we have no emissions, so we have pretty much free reign. It just sucks. It does suck that tracks close in the wintertime, but, I mean, weather gets pretty inclement up here at times, so, I mean, it is what it is. But, Christian, you have been extremely patient, my dude, so we will definitely take a look at your car. What up, my dude? Love the channel. Here's my 04 WRX wagon with 67,600 miles. Don't go too hard on it. I'm still in high school. Also, sorry, I haven't done any professional photos, just iPhone pics. No worries. D2 coilovers, Koenig Hypergram 17x8, Toyo Proxy 4 Plus is, NVIDIA N1 Street. So it's a wagon. First of all, I like Blob Eyes. Blob Eyes, unfortunately, the only car they're the only generation I haven't owned. I can always appreciate a clean Blob Eye on there. Sounds like you got some coilover, wheel setup on there, tire setup. You've already kind of hit some of the more important stuff for daily driving aspects of it. Wagons are good. Wagons are useful cars. Hello from Vietnamese. What's going on, dude? How you doing, Kakluk? Oh, God, dude. I don't even want to try to pronounce that. I'm just going to get butchered on it. But Blob Eyes. I love Blob Eyes. I love wagons. It's practical. A couple things that I would do if you're looking at it from an aesthetic standpoint. Lip, side skirt, some type of rear spats. The JDM options are pretty good options to do. Later down the road, when you get some more money saved up exterior-wise, I would definitely do the JDM fog lights on the front bumper. If you're looking to make a little bit more reliability out of the car, definitely add an AOS on there. That should definitely help increase the longevity of it. Next coming up is an access port and an intake. I would definitely do an access port and an air oil separator before snagging an intake. But, I mean, an access port definitely can wait too. 66,000 miles is pretty low on this thing too. So definitely try to keep up on the maintenance, keep everything running hunky-dory. But oh my goodness, I did not mean to zoom in that much. I like it, dude. I can always appreciate a clean Blob Eye. I'd love to have a Blob Eye. I almost bought one a couple years ago, but unfortunately, they were just asking a little bit too much. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. But I definitely do enjoy the car, dude. I like it. Keep me posted on some updates that you got going on with it, especially once you get that access port and you get that intake on there. But that's my take on it. Clean car, my dude. Walter, what's going on, dude? You finally made it. Walter, you haven't been in a live stream in forever. Forevers. Christian, AOS might be first then. I would definitely sang an AOS. IAG, Crawford, Radium, all very good options. What's going on, Peter? Ayo! Why is a 4-to-1 better than a 4-to-1 on equal length header? I mean, it really depends. I mean, I've seen a lot of people go both routes. I'll kind of show you guys the differences between them if I can find some pictures. 4-to-1 header STI. Can I find a picture of a 4-to-1? No, this is just 4-to-1. Like 4-to-1. Like, that's a 4-to-1. That's not really a 421. Why am I so zoomed in on things right now? Is this the ETS header? Looks like the ETS. Wow, now I'm like super zoomed out. ETS header looks like nice, like super big tube-ish too. Why can we not go back to like a normal screen size? Is that normal? That looks normal. Killer B is like an actual 4-4-2-1, like not 4-2-1, but like a 4-to-1. It's 4 pipes going to 1 collector. The Killer B one or ETS looks like it's 4 pipes going into. That's not it either. I can't find any like 4-2-1s. Honestly, it depends. I mean, I've seen people go both ways with the 4-2-1 and the actual like 4-2-1 on equal length header setups. People have done different testing on them. I would definitely check out what PRE did with their testing on it. PRE has a lot of information on stuff they do. Eric, their tuner down there, he has a YouTube channel also. He has a lot of like, I think it's Will Tune for Tacos or something like that. Super informative channel too. It's all like, it's like 5 steps past kind of. It's some like deep information. It's sometimes it's a little too much and you get a little bit lost into it, but there's a lot of solid info over there from what he's doing. I have a 2017 STI and I only get 200 miles on a tank of gas. I have only 22,000 miles on the car. What do you think the problem is? If you have a heavy foot, that's definitely going to be your problem. But if it's like a legitimate mechanical problem in the car, I would definitely take a look at your PCV valve. Make sure your PCV valve is still functioning right, because that will like detrimentally kill your fuel mileage if you are still using a PCV valve. But that's kind of where I would start. LOL went for the insta-kill. California smog, it's so awful. Dude, that's all I got. That's all I got on California. Like, you guys got good weather down in California. You guys got good tracks down in California. The only thing that we got going for us up here in Washington right now is no emissions. Yes, we may have, like, bad weather throughout the entire fall, winter, and spring. But at least I don't have to have a catalytic converter. I'd like to be able to get down to, like, California in the wintertime at some point, though, to go hit up a couple tracks down there. There's a lot of tracks that I want to go actually drive out to and play with. Oh, what up, small dog? You have your sweatshirt on. You're sticking your tongue out. But California is definitely on my checklist to get down there and go race on some of the tracks they have. Would you like to come here? You look like you want attention. Come here. Come here, tiny dog. You look like you want attention. Ugh. I want a sticker bomb my grocery getter 2015 Honda Accord. What do you think? Would I get bullied for that? Who cares what other people think, dude? It's your car. If you want a sticker bomb it. AOS might be first, then. That's what I'm saying. Definitely AOS and access port. Thanks, bro. Always love the feedback. Anytime, my dude. You want a great muscle wagon with performance? Get a Dodge Magnum. I've never been a huge fan of the Dodge Magnums. They look a little odd. Dude, what do you want? First you wanted my attention. Now you don't want my attention. Do you want to go on the couch? Here, go play on the couch. Go do your puppy dog things. Also probably gonna get the IAG V2 or V3. Now you're back right here, dude. Small dog. I don't know what you want, my dude. You have like a hair on your eyeball though, so let's get that off. Honestly, I'd probably get the V2. The V2 is cheaper. It's proven. The V3 is probably gonna be a little bit more expensive. But either way, you're totally fine with either option. CMD plus 0 will go to 100% zoom. Command plus 0. And nothing happened. Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong screen. Command plus 0. Okay, I don't like that. I'm so like bad with computers. How can I get a -6? How can I get -6 camber for my Subi? I'm so close to finishing my own dream Subi at 18. I mean, there's safe ways to do it and there's sketchy ways to do it. If you are trying to get, are you trying to get -6 in the front or in the rear? Because that's gonna kind of be a little bit different. If you're trying to get -6 in the front, you can get cartboy lower camber bolts. You can get the like super extendo top hats that like really let you go negative camber. In the rears, like white line control arms are going to give you a lot of camber. A lot of people slot them a little bit further to be able to pull a little bit camber out of there. I'm guessing you're trying to do a more of a stance setup, which there's nothing wrong with that. We each have our own build paths that we go down. I've been there before. I've done it. I've seen people get like this, like the top hats. Between top hats, lower camber bolts, and slotting your suspension a little bit, you should be able to get there. Just make sure you're doing it safe too. I mean, I've seen people run some pretty gnarly negative camber on their cars. Just make sure that everything is like Loctited down or like safe, bolted down, so that way you don't have anything like shifting or adjusting on you as you're driving, because that can get pretty bad. Am I late? Only by like an hour and a half, my dude. It's all good though. We're gonna keep going. Question. I have 12 track days on the stock block at 400 wheel horsepower, compression test, and HG test came back perfect last weekend. You think I'll get another year, 12 more track days out of it, 30k miles, 2016 SCI. I mean, honestly, I think you keep like taking care of it, monitoring everything. Obviously, if you see like temps spike or something wrong, you obviously have your fail safes put in place. So I mean, I would just keep an eye on it. You should be able to get, I mean, at minimum another year or two, I'd think, depending on how hard you're beating on it. I don't know how hot it gets down in California either, especially with these tracks being like out in the desert. So I mean, temps would be something that I. Did you guys hear that? Like ghosts or something. I don't know what's going on. But I mean, as long as you're staying on top of everything, my dude, you shouldn't have any issues. Do keep me posted though, because I am a little bit curious on how well it's performing and how well it's holding up. Noah, it's all good, my dude. Just don't overly spam the comments. Christian, most AOS, you're already on top of that one. I want to drift my WRX but IDK if I have the right tires. Do you have a recommendation? If you want to drift your WRX, you're going to have to shim and weld the front diff. You're going to have to plug the front half shaft holes. You should probably upgrade your rear diff to an R180 and then make it rear wheel drive. If you're trying to do it in all wheel drive, go send it on some like dirt, some gravel, ice, snow. I wouldn't do it in the drag because you're going to completely like you're going to completely like wreck your differential if you do that. Cali is trash and people are awful. Too much people and too much traffic. I've driven through California once. So when I was driving back to Washington, I've taken it in two different ways. Actually, I'm going to pull up a map. Let's do Google Maps. Google Maps. Google Maps. Zoom out. Zoom out. So I've driven two different ways from Louisiana up to Washington. The first way is because I lived it was right about here in Louisiana. I took I-10 all the way through like Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, Tucson, up to San Diego, and then right here, right when I get to Los Angeles, right there, that is the worst traffic I have ever seen. Like, dear God, I never want to drive through Los Angeles again. And I was just trying to, like, take I-5 up just because I had to come, like, all the way up and then, like, get up here to the Seattle-Tacoma area where I live. But, dear God, that was awful. The other fun way, which I do suggest if any of you guys are driving cross-country, is, like, go down, like, through this path. I wish I would show my cursor up on the screen. Kind of where you hit Yakima, Kennewick, Boise, Twin Falls, Salt Lake City. Boop. Boop, drive through Wyoming, hit like Fort Collins, Denver, go down to like Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then kind of cut across. I've driven up through like Kansas, Nebraska, a couple areas like up there too, and it can get like it's flat. Like out here in like the Kansas, Oklahoma area, it's super flat. I'm new to this channel. I'm sorry I messed up your stream. No, you didn't mess it up, dude. You're all good. It's just don't like super spam the same stuff. And just don't super spam and you're totally fine. The weather may be nice there, but the air quality is terrible. I have no idea what the air quality down there is. I wrap my STI yellow. Do it! I've seen a couple like yellow, like VA chassis STIs that look awesome. Yellow VA STI. If you guys haven't seen like the yellow ones, the yellow looks so good! How can you hate that color? Like if I rewrap the STI at some point, doing yellow I think would definitely be an option because that is a good looking color. I like the yellow. You don't see a lot of yellow cars, not anymore. Tiny dog, small dog in a sweater. He is a small dog in a sweater right now. He's kicking it on the couch. He's just laying on the couch, relaxing, doing his thing. I had Ferrari stickers to my minivan. That's it. Only Ferrari. I do Lamborghini and Ferrari. If you really have the money right now, you can get a classic 1970 Chevelle SS wagon. I don't got money for that. I'm super broke. But that'd be a dope car to have. Hey, I have a stock 2018 ST. I was thinking Cobb Titanium Stage 2 air oil separator, Pro Tune. Missing anything, or would you recommend air filter, catback, semi-limited budget? Thanks. If you're on a semi-limited budget, I would definitely do a catback air oil separator. And then you have the option of doing either an intake or a downpipe if you're sticking with the Cobb stuff. So if you can at least fit an intake in there, an intake is going to be like drastically cheaper than a downpipe will. You'll at least get a little bit more power out of the car, and you'll get a little bit more induction noise out of it too. So it's definitely a solid way to go. Any other states around Cali besides Washington have no emissions? Might go do JBLM after Okinawa to get out from Cali, but car laws. Car laws are a huge, especially with. I'm curious on what your guys' take on this is. I follow politics a lot. I'm not going to get into politics too much, but what are your guys' thoughts on California and New Jersey wanting to ban the sales of gas-powered cars by 2035? Definitely an interesting idea. I definitely don't think it's going to work, but we'll definitely see. I'm kind of curious on what you guys think of that. Are engine shrouds worth it for WRX? No, not in my opinion. Engine shrouds are pretty much just for show. Hey Speedy, I'm sorry I messed up your stream. I was just trying to be funny, and be comedy, you know. No worries, my dude. Just don't like super spam. That's the only thing. No super spamming. I'm getting the RevWorks 950 short block. What's your opinion on theme? Opinion on them? RevWorks is awesome. So I know the Mod Garage works with RevWorks quite a bit on blocks. I mean, I'd suggest RevWorks. RevWorks, IAG, Crawford, Woolman Performance, all super awesome people to build blocks that I know of. LMAO Yes. Yes, we heard the ghost. I'm glad I'm not the only one that heard the ghost. Yeah, I'm thinking -6 all around, and thanks for the help. Anytime, my dude. Dude, I am being haunted. Like, I swear, I used to live in a haunted apartment, too. Like, creepy stuff. I totally believe in ghosts and that stuff, and one thing I learned in life, don't mess with ghosts or aliens. Don't mess with either of them. Just aliens. Don't do it. Don't do it. My dad just bought a 2020 Supra, and it's his birthday tomorrow. I want to put underglow and put a Ferrari badge on the front. Thought? Send it. Full send. Full send. Get the Bluetooth. If you're going to do it, at least get the Bluetooth underglow. Like, go full send, dude. Full send. You're killing me tonight. I love it. So much yes. Nah, I changed my mind. Don't do Ferrari. At least do like a Peugeot badge, or however you pronounce it. Fiat. Put a Fiat badge on it. What reliability mod should I do after my WRX is out of warranty? Air oil separator, radiator, EGR, TGV delete. Those should get you pretty solid. What car do I have, though? I have the BRZ and the STI. I've got both of those. I have them both. The one place you do not want to get broke down is in the desert. Totally agree. I also do have a video on that, too, if you want to learn more about them. But there's just a quick answer for you. The guy I bought my 11 from put a nameless exhaust on it. Had access port, but he took the access port off because he said it messed with the engine. Would you know why? I feel like it would help. I don't know why he took the access port off. Oh, I know why he took the access port off. Because he took the access port off so he could sell it to make a little bit of money before selling you the car. He was just trying to make an extra, like, 500 bucks. That's what he was doing. I would definitely snag an access port, though. Yes, Kansas is very flat. It is very flat. California, 100 plus at track. July, September, I'll see 235 water temp, 250 oil on those days. Easily, our cars can't do 90 plus days. Need to relocate the oil cooler for duct and rad. Otherwise, spring, fall only. Totally feel it. I've considered doing like the APR brake ducts, but routing the brake duct vents to like an oil cooler. So, just an option to look at. Might be worth looking at or not. And one more thing. Would I need a tune for an AOS? No. The only tune you need for air oil separators are those of the IAG competition series. Any other air oil separator you get, unless it's venting to the atmosphere, does not need a tune. Have I thought about expanding your videos to Twitch? I kind of like thought, I don't know if I was going to do it. I kind of like thought about doing like maybe like a gaming channel segment or something like that. Maybe like streaming, playing Call of Duty or something like that. I have no idea. I haven't like looked too much into I'm gonna be honest, I've never looked into Twitch, so I have no idea. But it has crossed my mind to do something somewhat like that. Melanie had the idea also. Thought it might be a fun idea. Hey, Future! Appreciate the dono, my dude. I was planning on saving up for green Lambo doors for my Volkswagen Golf. Thoughts? I wouldn't do green. I mean, unless it's like the super lime green. Do like the what is it? Like the iconic Lambo yellow. You can't go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong with iconic Lambo yellow. I'm here. What up, Gary? What up, dude? What up, dude? What up, Gary? What's poppin'? Welcome, my friend. I got my 2020 STI and already have knocking issues. How? How many miles are on the car? Did you break? Was the motor broken in properly? I've seen some like motors go pretty early due to people not breaking them in properly. I've also seen ones like last forever too. It's ridiculous. Don't understand it. It's dumb and impossible. What's dumb and impossible? They're silly. I think it's stupid. Wow, we have a lot of mixed feelings in here. Wouldn't happen until we get better power grid at all. I love the Teslas, but man, long live the ICEs and save the manuals. California, I hate the politics here. Totally agree. Good luck changing the rest of the world. They want us to live like Demolition Man. If they can match the reliability and performance of internal combustion engines, then it might be for a win-win customer technology. True. So here's the thing that like we were talking about when we foresaw California and now New Jersey proposing this bill where they want to ban the sales of all gas-powered cars. First of all, there's something just about it's iconic. You have the original internal combustion engine. There's just something about an internal combustion engine that you just don't want to give up. Nobody wants to give it up. Secondly, what about all these big car manufacturers? You're forcing car manufacturers to try to make an EV option that's going to be like thrown together like very bad because they're like on the super rush timeline, or they're just going to like pull out of these states altogether, and then Tesla's just going to have a dominating market in like California and New Jersey alone unless other states try to follow this. But it's just I just don't foresee this happening. Also, what's to stop them from creating a monopoly on electric vehicles in those states and then just jacking the prices up? I just do not foresee it happening. I don't think it would ever become a reality. Even so, like, where do people think charging these cars comes from? You have to charge your EV car somewhere. Where do they think the power comes from? The power comes from coal or solar or like all these other ones, but you don't get a ton of like renewable power off of that. The majority of it comes from coal and other oil like beginnings. The fuel it comes from somewhere, and people don't like fully realize that. I don't think people like fully think it through. No super spamming. See, Walter's on top of it. It also won't stop people from driving gas cars because it's only new cars. True. Pujo. Thank you! Jesus, I was struggling with that one for some reason. One night, a friend and I were on our headquarters talking on PS4, and we heard a disembodied voice over the headset. I asked him if he was... Dude, ghosts. See, I'm not about ghosts. I don't mess with them. Don't mess with ghosts. Like, nothing good ever comes from messing with ghosts. Real quick, getting a CVT WRX 2020 next month, and I heard a couple things about CVTs. And I know if you modify them, it's not good for the transmission. So the transmissions are like okay up to like 300 or 320 wheel horsepower. Once you start getting past that, the CVTs like to start throwing a fit. Do you want attention, small boy? Come here. Apparently this is what you want. So anything above like 320 wheel horsepower, the CVTs really like start throwing a fit. And just keep that in mind. It all depends on how much power you want to make out of the car. In stock form and lightly modified, they are pretty solid cars. Is an oil cooler worth having for a daily driver? Now, I'm going to be honest, an oil cooler for a daily driver isn't necessarily needed. Really, once you start doing like Spirited Canyon runs, track days, that kind of stuff, that's when you're really going to start needing an oil cooler, just because it gets, like, your oil's going to get hot. If it gets too hot, it'll get too thin. If it gets too thin, it won't properly lubricate, and that's when, like, breaks. Everything just breaks at that point. HKS oil cooler is what I'll be getting. It's perfect ducted behind the passenger fog light. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's legit just so expensive. Like, all oil coolers are, like, stupid expensive. But I'll definitely check out the HKS. Are you done throwing a fit? Are we done throwing a fit? You solid? If I put you down, you're not going to whine? You're going to go about, you're going to play little doggy toys. You've already had dinner. You're solid. Don't even look at me like that. Don't even do that. Don't even do that, small dog. Giving me attitude. Straight giving me attitude. All right, you guys. We've been going for just like an hour and 45 minutes at this point. I am getting hungry. I need some dinner up in here. So I'll be doing another live stream tomorrow night because you guys seem to love coming and kicking it and hanging out with these live streams. So bring your questions tomorrow night, whatever you guys got. I'm going to save these stream settings so that way Streamlabs doesn't completely screw us again. So with that, though, I appreciate everyone swinging by tonight. I appreciate all the donos from everyone going back into the channel. Tomorrow night, stream, 6:30 p.m. PST. If you guys want to come kick it, come hang out, come chill, you guys know what to do. So, like I said, I appreciate everyone swinging by. And with that, though, I will catch you guys tomorrow night in the next one. Also, remember, powder coating video goes live